Blue Gold, 9 Sustainable Development Goals, 9 episodes to discover inspirational stories about water. Episode 1, Providing Clean Water and Sanitation Always.
My name is Mark Dyson. I'm the Global Vice President for Veolia Water Technologies. I'm looking after their mobile water services business.
My name is Manuel Valles. I was involved in the mobile water services department to developing that business in Spain and Portugal as well.
My name is Tolba. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director for Veolia Water Technologies Egypt.
Water, from bubbling brooks to raging torrents, from light drizzle to torrential rain. Water, the source of all life on Earth. Water is all around us. Yet, 1 out of 3 people in the world has no access to safe drinking water. 1 out of 4 people in the world has no access to basic sanitation services, such as latrines or toilets. 70% of all water taken from rivers, lakes and aquifers is used for irrigation. Goal number 6 is about ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Whether reacting to emergencies on the humanitarian scene or providing long-term solutions and sustainability for years to come, Veolia Water Technologies is playing its part. First, let's travel together to the Caribbean and the beautiful island of St. Martin. Well, all is about to change for St. Martin on Tuesday, September the 5th, 2017.
Been evacuated from at-risk areas across the Caribbean. 40,000.
And is now moving on to St. Martin and St. Bethany.
Irma, a Category 5 hurricane, rages angrily towards the island in its unstoppable path of destruction.
It was quite unusual. It was a Friday night. I was at home having a beer with my wife about 9 o'clock. And we had a call from my manager to say that there'd been the hurricane disaster and could we mobilize some drinking water systems to help the local population there because the water systems had been crushed by the hurricane.
Irma raged through the island, destroying all. Houses were flattened, boats flung on land, power and water supply were wiped out. The desalination treatment plant was seriously damaged and out of action. But let's leave Mark Dyson to continue telling us the rest of the story.
So I proceeded to call some of my colleagues, both in the UK and Spain, and even at 9 o'clock in the evening, everyone answered their phone. We were able to communicate and then to work as a team to put a plan in place that would actually make this equipment available in the fastest possible time. And we looked at the various assets that we had available and we could mobilize in a very short space of time because obviously with the temperatures in the Caribbean, people would need drinking water very, very quickly. So we worked on it basically in the night and on the Saturday morning. And I'm pleased to say we managed to have all the equipment ready by 12 o'clock on the Saturday morning and all prepared and ready to go to be dispatched to St. Martin. So it's really down to the people that actually made this happen.
20 days after Hurricane Irma, thanks to the collaboration of all the teams involved, 65% of the island's inhabitants had access to drinking water. The production of all the desalination units exceeded 3.5 million liters per day. Manuel Valles was involved with the mobile services in Spain, and together with Mark Dyson, they played a central role in this story.
That unit was a mobile solution composed for 3 different containers. 2 of them is for the pretreatment of the third one, who is the desalination plant based in reverse osmosis. For me, it was the first time that I was involved in something like that because I was usually focusing in industry, and it's true that there are many emergencies, but in this case we were speaking about people. it was satisfying for me to help people in a so critical situation. No?
But it isn't just in a context of emergency that Veolia Water Technologies is positioning itself as a key player in providing clean water. It is, of course, also and mostly involved in sustainable projects that will benefit future generations, like it is in Egypt.
Egypt is building Bahr al-Bar water treatment plant to face water scarcity that could affect around 500,000 people in Sinai.
Magget Tolba from Veolia tells us about this pharaonic water program developed on the east of the Suez Canal. Indeed, Egypt is one of the most arid lands in the world, but a river runs through it, the magnificent Nile, backbone of the country's industrial and agricultural sector. It is also the primary source of drinking water. However, with a rapidly growing population and inefficient irrigation, Egypt has recently been faced with severe water scarcity.
Bahr al-Bar water treatment plant will treat agricultural wastewater, and it will be used to cultivate 250,000 fiddens in Sinai.
As we hear, the solution for Egypt isn't to draw more water from the river. On the contrary, it is paramount to reduce the dependency on the river. The solution is in wastewater. The solution is in the reuse of water for irrigation.
It will be one of the largest plants in the world, with a treatment capacity of 5 million meter cube per day.
Through one of its subsidiaries, and thanks to the expertise in innovation, Veolia Water Technologies supplies the plant with 120 disc filters.
Disc filter filters solids from the water. Accumulated solids are cleaned by the counter-current backwash system. Filtered water flows through the disc media to be collected in the collection tank.
We cannot assume our taps will always run, like in St. Martin, when Irma turned all off with just one twist of a destructive hand. We cannot assume our rivers will always supply us with all we need. We must think of sustainable solutions like in Egypt, so that the Sinai can green up again with crops and life. Do we take it for granted? What about the day the tap suddenly runs dry? What about the day our mighty rivers run low? Do we need to wait for that day to measure the true value of fresh water? The clock is ticking. A mere 10 years is left to meet the targets we have set ourselves. A decade for action, as the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, calls it. So, let's act today. We are all resources.